Hey, what's up, Cub fans? I know the season's over, but still a lot to talk about baseball. Free agency doesn't start till after the World Series. There was some big news today, October 11th. Chili Davis, the hitting coach for the Cubs, they brung him in. They fired their last hitting coach last year, and sometimes someone always has to take the blame. Cubs statistically did not get enough clutch hits in the second half of the year. A big stat, 40 games they scored 0 or 1 run. So as much as they're top of the league with overall runs scored per game, some say those stats were skewed where they get 10, 12 runs and then they might get shut out the next day or 1 run, which any team gets shut out throughout the year, but it shouldn't happen as much as it did. Cubs had 2 all-star players, Wilson Contreras and Javier Baez, the first half of the year. Javier Baez was still great the second half of the year. He's still in contention for MVP. He probably won't win. It'll probably be second or third, is my guess. But spectacular career year by Javier Baez. So looking at the hitters, Javier Baez had a career year, most home runs, most runs scored, most RBIs, stolen bases. Zobrist hit 305. He's never hit over 300. Those two had career years, at least some stats show. You look at Bryant, maybe give him a pass. He was injured, but didn't hit good enough in the runners in scoring position. So somewhat of a down year. I mean, this is a guy that seemed to improve every year. As far as rookie of the year, and then he was MVP. Third year was so-so. This year, I mean, we're still looking at a 272 hitter and a 370 on-base percentage guy. You take that. But you just expect the guy to be like close to 300, 400 on-base percentage, 30, 40 home runs, get some stolen bases. Rizzo, he had a bad April, and then I think he hit 300 or close to it last 4.5 months. And he got 100 RBIs, so he was pretty effective. Just a lot of guys in the team, Hayward did better. Elmora had a second half, a little bit of a slump, but he had some key RBIs, won some games. Happ just could not get it going all year long. He's got all this potential, but only like 13 home runs. Just one of those things. Guys couldn't get it going enough. It's just... And then Russell, we don't know if he'll be on the team next year. And then it came out about the domestic violence. And Schwarber hit 20-some home runs. He hit 30 the year before. But the big issue, just not enough big hits with runners on. He did lose weight, improved on defense. Showed that he can play some left field. But it's frustrating when you have like no outs or 1 out and you strike out with the guy in second or third. It's kind of going across the board here. Talk about Happ, Schwarber, Contreras, all-star first half, second half, fairly quiet, frustrated. I remember last year, he had like 21 homers. He was like our best player until he got hurt for a while. He was just on fire. Then he could not regain the magic. So hopefully he gets back to that. High energy, high emotional guy. Sure, he was very frustrated. We could see that. So we'll see. Chili Davis took the blame, got fired. I guess the second half slump. I think players have responsibility as well. We'll see who we bring in. One kind of, just my thought, why not David Ross? Only a 229 hitter, but players love him. He's a manager in the making. There's an article that Minnesota Twins are going to interview him for manager. I would like to see him be an assistant on the staff for the Cubs. Madden retires. You have David Ross. Players love him. I don't know how many of his former 2016 teammates are going to be still on the team by the time if he is being groomed, but just throwing that out there. I know the fans would kind of think it's kind of cool. We'll see how it plays out. Big news today, Chili Davis. I have kind of mixed emotions about it. 1 year gets the axe, but it's kind of how it works in professional sports. The assistant coaches usually take the blame. Well, we'll see if we get a good fit for the hire. See if we can get the bats hitting better with runners on. And go Cubs go.